how crazy of a concept homeschooling is. How parents can just be like, hey, I'm going to take my kid out of school and become their primary source of education without any sort of qualification. Some states require a high school diploma or to prove competency, but in the vast majority of states in America, you don't need any sort of diploma, degree, teaching credential, or certifications in child development, the things that teachers are required to have in order to become education professionals. In order for you to become your child's education professional, schools are so important for social and personal development, and there are instances that require homeschooling, but even in those scenarios, I feel like there should be some sort of degree of qualifications that parents are required to have. I just feel like it's crazy to be like, I'm going to remove my child from a place with education professionals and become their education professional without being an education professional.
So let's talk about that. Texas voters just passed a constitutional amendment affirming something very clear, that parents are the primary decision makers in their children's education. Not the system, not professionals, parents. And that word professionals deserves a closer look. Texas has more than 1,200 public school districts, and 987 of them are districts of innovation. That means those districts can legally opt out of teacher certification and degree requirements if they choose. In plain language, that means that the system itself agrees that a degree and a certificate are not always required to teach. So when someone says education should be left to the professionals, the obvious question is, which professionals? But then there's the favorite claim that homeschool kids aren't socialized. Socialized into what? Exactly. Because according to Texas Scorecard, we've seen public schools host drag performances, distribute sexually explicit materials, conceal gender transitions from parents, and allow activist ideology into our classroom. If that's the standard, many parents are making the rational decision to opt out. Homeschool students aren't isolated, they're socialized every day in churches, co-ops, sports, jobs, real communities. They interact across ages and with real adults, not just 30 kids sorted by birth year. In fact, just yesterday, my family bought Christmas gifts at a local handcrafted market, supporting enterprising homeschool students. And here's what really doesn't add up. Schools say they want parental involvement, yet involved parents are often treated with contempt the moment they ask questions. So let me ask something even more basic. Who taught the first teachers? Before districts, credentials, and classrooms even existed, who educated children? Parents did. If parents teaching their children is now considered unfit, how did any education system ever come into existence at all? Education didn't start with the bureaucracy. It started at the kitchen table. And that's not anti-education, that's pro-family. And Texas voters just made it clear who's in charge on that front. Follow me for more content. Check out my store, buy one of my shirts, send a little money to my campaign. I'm gonna keep putting these out, and I'll see you out there.